Very good to me. She's only 17. These words I whisper to her when we're making loving slowly. Josie, 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 Josie. I'll be on a rolling on it. We won't be time I think to you treat the ice cream. I think of all the naughty not to Josie, 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 me. I met my woman. Everybody now. Josie, 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 I'll be on the pavilion and you will be my king. Each time I love you, you treat me nice and blue. I'll eat the most of the naughty tricks my time and
I don't give to no religions, mate. Got no time for them.
Oh, it's not religious, mate. It's the gissing. It's the gissing appeal, mate. Look, it's for the poor, like, for all the local poor, you know.
Are you sure?
Oh yes, honest. It's got nothing to do with religion.
All right.
God bless you, Captain.
Everyone was an Henry. She wouldn't have a Willie or a Sam. I'm a right old man, whoa, Henry. Henry, come on,
So a fella found a load of collecting boxes in the street. What's it got to do with us?
Not in the street. They were dumped in one of them big skips.
So?
Look.
Oh, I see your point. Really big-time criminal. Where'd they come from?
Found them at Lee Riverway. They were dumped on that council tip.
District do anything about it?
Sent them over here. Either they think we've got nothing to do, or perhaps they want to give us a laugh.
Well, where's the joke? Save the Albert Hall Fund. Save the Albert Hall?
Yeah, you're right. Homemade labels. Didn't want one of those printing sets.
Oh, that cheeky rascal. What about the others?
Well, I've not asked Kate to check them out, but if there are such charities as Help the Helpless and the Good Samaritans Appeal, I've never heard of them.
National Charity Week, no?
No. Look at the labels. Look, they're all done the same.
Leishmaniasis Foundation. Well, what's leishmaniasis?
Suppose he made it up. Sounds medical.
And the Ebola Disaster Fund.
Well, there's always a disaster somewhere, isn't there? Mind you, he's misspelled that, look. It should be Elba.
Yeah, that's where they had Napoleon in Nick, before the 100 Days.
Able was I, ere I saw Ebla. I mean Elba.
Oh, they could be kids, I suppose. No. People wouldn't bung to a kid with the collecting box. Well, he's not making a living out of it, is he?
Wouldn't have thought so. Might as well sling him, I suppose.
What do you mean, sling him?
The destructor.
Well, destroying evidence. Kate'll have us both on the mat.
Or you could investigate it and bring this master criminal to justice.
Well, why shouldn't I?
You serious?
Got nothing else on?
Chummy, wherever you are, whoever you are, you better start shaking in your wellies.
Well, he must have nicked the boxes from some charity outfit. Yeah, or maybe he even bought them. Could you check it out through purchasing? They should know. Yeah, and find me someone to talk to in one of the big charities. I'd like to know how they go about appointing collectors.
You don't think he might have been bona fide to begin with?
Well, it's a thought. It's not the sort of scheme that would occur to anybody out of the blue, is it?
Oh, I think it's a disgusting type of theft.
Well, why disgusting?
Trading on people's generosity.
I suppose so.
Oh, of course it is, Nick. People have only got so much money to give away. If this person's taking it for himself, then it just isn't going where it's really needed.
Well, don't get upset, love. We'll soon have him in the dock.
I hope you do.
Well, we're bound to. A fellow who can't spell can't be that bright.
Hemorrhagica spiroketosis. Hemorrhagica spiroketosis weak. The Icterohemorrhagica Spiroketosis Foundation. Fight Icterohemorrhagica Spiroketosis. Icterohemorrhagica Spiroketosis.
Our mate's got a sense of humour.
Which mate?
Show me with the collecting boxes.
Yeah, well, Kate doesn't think so. Where's the joke?
Well, I've just been through to the reference library. It seems there is a real disease called leishmaniasis.
So?
2 forms of it. One's called Kala-Azar, or dum-dum fever. The second one's a milder version. You probably know it better as Baghdad sore or Delhi boil. It's carried by sandflies.
By sandflies?
We don't get many of them round here, do we?
Yeah, and he's had people giving him money for that.
3 boxes. You've got to admire his front, haven't you?
No, and I'm going to take a personal interest in nailing this joker. Do you know that?
Phil Strong?
Can I speak to Nick, please, Phil?
Yes, Kate.
Are you free this afternoon, Nick?
Well, I could be. Why?
Because I've been making inquiries to some of the charitable organisations, and it seems that several of them employ a firm of charity organisers. Now, they suggest you see a Mr. Shelley about this business.
He's the organiser?
Yes, his firm specialises in the field. Look, I've already had a word with him, and he's available all afternoon, so can you manage it today?
Well, why not? You got the address?
Yes. Shelley Bland Associates, 161 Mountville Street, West 1.
Okay, I've got that, Kate. Thank you very much. Shelley Bland Associates. That sounds good. Mayfair as well.
He's probably got one back office on the 12th floor.
Not a bit, Dan. Why did you get in touch with Harold and Rachel and make it a foursome down at my club? Wednesday be fine. Right? Look forward to that. God bless. Yes?
Mr. Lewis to see you, sir.
Right, send him in.
Mr. Shelley?
Good of you to make it so promptly, Mr. Lewis. I'm quite booked out for the rest of the week. Do sit down.
Thank you.
Would you like a cigar?
No, thank you, Mr. Shelley.
Now, how can I help you? Your assistant wasn't exactly informative.
Well, I'm sorry about that, sir.
You are from the police.
Ah, yes, sir. Something's come to our attention which we think you may be able to help us with.
Yes. Leishmaniasis. Not one of my accounts, I'm afraid. I see why you're interested, but not much of a crime for someone of your rank to be concerned with, is it, Inspector?
I've got another score of those, all with the sides cut off.
Leishmaniasis doesn't give an address.
Well, it wouldn't, sir. There isn't any such charity.
You mean this has been made up?
And plenty more.
That's criminal.
Right.
What is it you'd like to know, Inspector?
Well, firstly, whoever's doing it has got to get the boxes from somewhere. Any ideas on that?
Well, this box is out of date. The major charities have been to plastic for years. Still thief-proof, though.
Is it?
What I mean is that it's proof against rogue volunteers. If you look inside, you'll see that the coin slot has been lipped underneath, and that stops the coins from being slid out along the blade of a knife.
So this fella calmly cuts the sides off.
You say you have 20 more like that, all the same.
Oh, the same model, yeah.
They can't be a volunteer. We've always been most careful to make sure that our voluntary workers come from a good background. And all the boxes have to be signed for, both on receipt and on delivery. Do you care for a drink?
No, thank you. So where did he get the boxes?
Well, there are the paid district organizers. They're responsible for the collection and distribution of boxes, but these are people who've been in the industry for years.
Yeah, but they would have had access to these things in quantity.
The smaller charities that still use that type, yes. But we've always been most careful to check out these people before we point them.
You mean your clients do?
No, we look after the security on behalf of the clients. We do know about these things. After all, my partner and I started in security a long time ago.
Now, is there any way of knowing how many boxes get issued to your district organizers?
In general terms, yes. But what you have to understand is that 1 month we may be collecting for a medical charity, which is a high turnover operation, and the next month collecting for one of the less fashionable appeals. The number of boxes issued depends upon the public response, do you see?
I'm beginning to, yes, sir.
What I can do, Inspector, is to draw up a list of all the paid organizers, past and present, and I could let you have a list by tonight.
Well, that'd be a great help, sir.
Whoever this person is, he's got to be stopped. And any help he can give you, any help at all, you must feel free to call on us. I'm quite sure my clients will be happy to defray any out-of-pocket expenses you may incur. After all, charity does begin at home, doesn't it?
I don't quite understand your meaning, sir.
Well, let's say that I have certain disposable funds to meet eventualities like this. I'm sure my clients will be quite happy to make an advance against expenses, if that's preferable.
No. No, I don't think that'll be necessary for the moment, sir.
I see. Well, any time, you know. And they'll be wanting lunch, of course. Better book a table at Wheeler's. Do I have any appointments for tomorrow afternoon?
You're interviewing some people for the Culpeper Benevolent Fund between 3 and 4.
Rearrange them for later in the week, will you?
Well, that doesn't give me much time.
Don't argue. This may be a very serious matter.
Look, I'd just like him checked out. Now, he says he started in security, so we're bound to have a record on him in Central Computer.
I thought you were supposed to be after the person who's been robbing the charities, not the man who's been helping to set them
Yeah,
up.
well, maybe I am, but I still don't like people who try to bung me. It wounds my pride, doesn't it? Now, come on, Kate, be a good girl. It's Shelley Roger, all right? It won't take a minute. Or it could be under Shelley Bland.
Oh, hello, Liz. Hey, we were wrong. You can spell.
Who?
There was a disaster at Ebler, not Elba.
Well, I don't remember it.
You sure?
I'm positive. What happened?
Well, two versions. One, it was destroyed by either Naram Sin or Sarkhan the Great, about the turn of the 2nd millennium BC.
What are you on about?
Hang on a minute. Second possibility, it was involved in natural catastrophe about 1700 BC. That's if you accept the Velikovsky dating. But either way, he wasn't obtaining money by false pretenses. There really was a disaster. Like you say, cheeky rascal.
What's the book?
Ebler, an archaeological enigma.
Nice picture of the place on the back, look. Reminds me a bit of Rotherham.
Do you want this information about Shelley or not?
Yes.
Shelley and Bland, Private and Industrial Security, Kingsland Road, Esher, Surrey. The firm folded in 1973.
Well, is that all?
No. There are some court cases mentioned. Organising an affray. Masquerading as police officers. Seems they were employed by several local councils to evict squatters. All the cases were involved in that Esher area.
Remember that mob? Used to provide the heavies when you wanted the old squatters out. Had to stop it when the press got onto it.
It was several years ago, though.
Yes, but Mr. Shelley's gone respectable now. Thank you. Well, Kate's off to dinner. You coming down the local?
Wouldn't miss it. What sort of a bloke is this Shelley, then?
Well, he's the sort of bloke that likes to bribe police officers.
I've organised a meeting with my people for tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure they'll agree to my proposal. Oh, they'll pay. They'll pay all right when it's put to them. What's more, it makes it their responsibility, doesn't it? Huh? How drastic? Oh, I don't think one can be too drastic in a case like this, do you? No, 3 teams should be sufficient. And Ron, men who can keep their mouths shut, right? I don't know. I don't suppose he's doing this act on street corners in daylight. More likely touring the pub, I imagine. My dear Ron, this may seem a small matter to you, but that's not how my people are going to see it. The name of this business is Trust, boy, and don't you forget it.
Well, what do you put in?
Well, I suppose 10 pence usually.
One of those boxes would take how many 10p's? 100? Or more? Well, that's a tenner, isn't it?
Oh, some people put coppers in, though. You should have asked your Mr. Shelley.
Had a collection down my local for the kids' outing. They got over 40 quid in the box.
I agree with Kate, though. It's not how much money he's stolen, it's the principle. It's a mean crime.
Still, if they don't miss it, cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, but he's got to be a part-timer because nobody's going to make a living doing it. Yeah, it's graft, you know, standing on street corners this weather.
You wouldn't necessarily be standing on street corners.
No.
No. Look.
Oh, well. Excuse me.
Oh, good evening. Would you like to help, sir? It's for the church, St. Simon's. We're collecting for our restoration fund. Anything you can give, sir.
Well, may I see your credentials, please?
Oh, of course. It's all quite genuine, sir.
Charles Higgins.
That's right, sir.
Can I see the box?
Certainly.
I'm a police officer, Mr. Higgins. I'm just checking.
Oh, I hope everything's all right.
Ah, seems to be.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, before you go, this a regular activity of yours?
Oh, yes, I'm very strong on charity. I collect for most of the local good causes.
But you don't get paid for it?
Of course not. Well, I mean, it's charity, isn't it? I can't give a lot of money, but I can give my time, can't I?
Yeah. You always go to pubs?
Well, mainly. People are more generous in public houses for some reason. You can meet some awful people when you collect outside. But in here, well, people are so nice, aren't they? Thank you. Some time as appeal.
Easy as that.
Hemorrhagic spirochitosis.
Collective medical research. Collective medical research. It's ectohemorrhagic spirochitosis. Killer disease. Medical research. Collective for. Yeah, that's give generously. It's to fight ectohemorrhagic spirochitosis. Very serious disease. Thank you very much. For medical research, collecting. It's for ectohemorrhagic spirochitosis.
No, look, Bill, I gave up that side of the business a long time ago. What's the phrase nowadays? Too much hassle. Yes, well, that's it. Now, old boy, I've got 3 years to go till retirement, and it's going to be the dogs for me till then.
That's pretty much a low-growth area, though, isn't it?
Not a bit of it. We've upped our income over 40% in the last 2 years, and most of it from covenants under wills. None of this rattling boxes under people's noses.
40%, that's pretty good going nowadays.
A suggestion of my wife's, actually. Canine burial plots. She heard about it in the States. Oh, it's going like a bomb over here. No, boy, the doggies will see me out.
Sorry about that slight interruption, gentlemen. Shall we take our seats? I'm sorry I was so evasive over lunch, but we're faced with a problem which needs to be handled with discretion. A police officer visited me yesterday. Somebody is inventing charities of his own and collecting the money from them.
Good God, what charities?
I thought you'd think as I did that it represented a serious threat.
Might be a damn sight more serious if the police catch this fellow.
What do you mean by that, Peter?
Well, don't you know what happens when the police catch someone like this? He goes to court, then it's on the front page of every rag in the country. We need that sort of publicity like a hole in the head.
Oh, come on, surely you're exaggerating.
Am I? What about the post-war scandals, eh? Oh, no, I suppose you weren't about at the time. Anyway, back in the 40s, some bright spark hit on the idea of collections in cinemas.
Hey, that sounds a lively idea.
Yes, except that as soon as the lights went down, the boxes never seemed to get to the end of the row. Well, an awful lot of thieves about, as we all knew. Of course, there were several prosecutions, and the press got hold of it. Practically every charity in the country was set back tens of thousands, may even be more.
Mr. Cross is absolutely right, gentlemen. The only publicity this industry needs is positive publicity. The wrong sort is going to cost you all a lot of money.
But if he's the only person doing this, why bother at all? I mean, I realize it's immoral and, well, I suppose criminal, but it's certainly not affecting our income, well, so far. I imagine that goes for everybody.
2 points against that. We're not sure there's only one operator. And secondly, if the police do pull him in, you'll be surprised how quickly your income's affected. Trust is the essence of giving. And if the public don't trust one of us, they're going to withdraw their support from all of us.
Yes, but if you don't want the police to catch him, and obviously you don't want him to carry on with these depredations, what's the alternative?
Well, I know what some of our opposite numbers in the States would do.
I don't think we need to be quite so drastic as that, Peter. But certainly something needs to be done. I think if we can find this person, we'll be able to persuade him to drop this particular line of business. It'll cost a little money.
Oh. Well, as far as I'm concerned, Roger, you've got a free hand. And if you chaps take my advice, you won't stint out on this one. Has he got on to dogs yet?
Not as far as I know.
He will. Oh, yes, he will.
Is he into the medical area yet?
Heavily.
Well, I go along with Peter. You've got my full support.
Gentlemen. Good. First of all, we've got to find him. And I have 1 or 2 people qualified in that, starting today.
Is there anything from Shelley?
No, not yet.
Well, he said he'd let me have a list of his area organisers. Could you get him for me, Kate?
Yes, of course. Oh, good morning. Could I speak to Mr. Shelley, please? Inspector Lewis. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. Shelley. Well, we haven't received anything from you as yet. I suppose it's in the post, is it? Oh, I see. Well, yes, I appreciate that. No, from our point of view, there's no real urgency. Yes, but we do like to clear these things up as we go along. Yes, I'm sure. Yes, thank you. So, suddenly it's only some cheap little thief that his clients aren't terribly worried about.
Well, isn't that what he is?
Well, it didn't seem to be Mr. Shelley's view yesterday.
That was the police. They're also after this tyke. Your job is to find him first. I got Ted and Cyril covering Islington to Bow, eastwards. Reg and Jack south of the river. You two work down from Clapton to Hackney. If you find him, there's a bonus, of course. I don't want a hospital job. Just make sure he gets the point.
He could be telling the truth. Maybe his clients couldn't care less.
Yeah, or maybe he's reverting to type. Now, on his record, he's a fellow that doesn't mind the strong-arm stuff if he gets paid for it.
That was when he was squatter bashing.
Well, he'll still have his contacts, and they won't all be nicely spoken con men.
All right, so what do we do?
Well, don't worry, it's not painful. We go on a pub crawl for the next couple of nights.
Well, if you'd have said that in the first place. Irish house. He won't be mug enough to go in there.
We'll try the lamb on the next corner.
When I strayed with my love to the pure crystal fountain
For the boys.
in the beautiful vale of Raleigh. She was lovely and fair as the rose of the summer, yet was not her beauty alone.
You got a tickle, Ted?
Could be.
So, for the good cause, you know what I mean.
Help the church. St. Simon's Appeal.
Let's have a look. Shouldn't you have your photo or something on it? That's how you are.
Well, I usually do, but as a matter of fact, I left it in my other suit. Everybody knows me around here.
We don't.
Don't need to give if you don't want it. I'll tell you that.
What's the matter? Oh, no, what you doing?
Just get in here, all right?
Hey, what, I haven't done anything wrong. What you doing?
Shut up.
I never knew there were so many pubs in London.
You fed up?
If I have another tonic water, I'll go pop.
It's early days yet.
You're sure? He's a religious nut. Collects for half a dozen churches, but he's not our lad. Do you rough him up much? A couple of taps. Make him show me his papers. Pub over there. Irish house. So, could be.
For the boys, you know. Keep it to yourself, Snow. Thanks, Pat.
That looks interesting.
Very. You coming?
Why not?
Yeah, mate. You dropped this.
Think you dropped it in the pub.
No, it's not mine.
Oh, sure, I saw you drop it. Keep it.
Give it to Shelley tomorrow. Defray our exits, won't it?
Nice night's work. It's a crime to take his money. All that in for night, ain't I?
I suppose you've had so much to drink you can't even stand up. Come on there, boy. Up you come. That's right. Like that. Oh. How you people always manage to fall on your faces is beyond me. Now, where do you live?
Pellet Road.
Come on. Perhaps this will cure you of the drink. Do you think it will?
Oh, I wasn't drinking.
No, I'm sure. You like sleeping in alleyways, don't you? Come on.
Well, I tell you what, Kate, there's a definite growth industry. We saw about 6 of them in the pubs last night.
But all bona fide?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. If you count the Salvation Army. Oh, morning, Phil.
Morning.
Recovered?
No. Can you see Mr. Higgins for a minute?
Well, who's Mr. Higgins?
We met him in the local a couple of nights ago.
Oh, yeah.
He just caught me as I was coming in.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. In here, Mr. Higgins.
Oh, hello. What can we do for you?
I was going to go down the station, but I knew you people worked here. It saves me a journey, doesn't it?
Well, we don't handle current cases, Mr. Higgins.
But you're a policeman. You were asking me about collecting, weren't you?
Oh, what about it?
Well, these fellas that duffed me up last night, that was their bind.
Sit down, Mr. Higgins.
Hello?
Taken you talking.
Hello? You up yet? There's no need to lock the door. Come on, open up.
I haven't got any clothes on.
Well, you hardly need to worry about that. It was me that had to put you to bed last night. I suppose left to yourself, you just sleep in your things. Well, get dressed and come and have some breakfast.
All right, I'm coming.
I'm surprised that you can walk the state you were in last night. I suppose you do have some tea somewhere. Ah, I thought I recognized you. I suppose that you collect in pubs so you can get free drinks, is that it? Hardly a blessed morsel of food in the house.
Yes?
It's Mr. Lewis for you, Mr. Shelley. Just a moment. Mr. Lewis? Mr. Lewis? Mr. Lewis?
You don't just barge in here, Lewis.
No? I thought you'd like to cooperate with the police.
This is a private office.
Well, I want a private chat with you. Does the name Higgins mean anything to you?
Why the devil should it?
Because 2 of your friends gave him a smacking last night.
I don't know anything about any Higgins.
He collects for charity and he's genuine. So your chums made a mistake, and you made a mistake, Mr. Shelley. You know, with your record, I don't think the magistrates are going to take a very lenient view of actual bodily harm and conspiracy to assault. So who are they? I told you. Your heavyweight friends. They're the same people you used when you were squatter bashing. Yeah, don't worry, Roger, we've got your SP from way back. And please, don't start offering me money again, or that'll be another indictable offense. Now, why you people go to so much trouble when you've got a police force, I really don't know. Or do you just like the idea of violence?
If anyone I know has roughed up this Higgins fellow, it has nothing to do with me. We're both after the same thing, surely, catching this tyke who's conning the public.
But that's not Higgins.
I didn't say it was. Inspector, I'm going to be in an awful lot of trouble with my clients. If I put you onto the real culprit, it wouldn't hurt your arrest record, would it?
If you'd just been a drunk, well, anybody can be weak. But robbing people of their money like that...
Well, it's not robbery. Not really.
Well, what is it, then? It's stealing people's money, isn't it?
Yeah, other people do it.
What other people?
All them big charities. You can't tell me anything about them. I used to work for them.
Charity's a wonderful, noble thing.
Yeah, it is if you do it on a big scale. If I do it, I'm a robber and a thief, according to you.
Oh, George, George, don't you see the difference? Look. We collect in the army. We depend on people giving us money. But we use it for good, not for our own luxuries.
Oh, yeah. Very luxurious round here, isn't it?
Oh, you'll never understand, will you?
Look, I'm not saying they're all the same. I mean, I know your lot do a lot of good. I suppose you're going to tell the police now, aren't you?
No. I'm going to pray for you. Will you pray with me?
Look, I don't see a lot of reason to bother about me. I mean, no one else ever did.
Almighty Father.
But his real name is George Woodison.
That's the name on his driving license. The rest of this, make-believe.
Now, where'd you get this lot?
A friend of mine.
And I suppose Woodison just took out his wallet and bunged it across, did he?
Probably.
Or maybe your friend was wearing hobnail boots at the time.
He didn't say.
I'll bet.
Look, Inspector, I'm helping you. There's no reason why I should be involved.
Oh, you're involved, all right, Roger. You just keep your fingers crossed you don't get time for this lot.
Me? Woodison?
When I used to come home from work, I used to read mainly. I'm a big reader. And then this fella that I worked with, like, that was before we got made redundant, well, he got me on going around the pubs, like, collecting.
But for real charities.
Yeah, that's what you call them. Anyway, this kid downstairs, she was in a bad way with this complaint. And it was what I've been collecting for about a year. So I asked about it at this office.
Office?
Yeah, up the West End somewhere. I tried to get her fixed up with treatment or something. I went right to the top, I did. Saw the boss man, everybody. Nothing.
Well, I suppose they have a lot of people to care for.
Yeah, they do that. A lot of big offices and big cars. Didn't I get the brush off?
And what happened to the little girl?
Do you really want to know?
Oh, no.
Look, I'm not saying she definitely would have lived if she'd had help. All I'm saying is she didn't get any.
Oh, George.
So, as soon as I was out of a job and I didn't want to collect Social Security, I decided that if it was good enough for them, it was good enough for me. So now you know.
But you will stop now, won't you?
Yeah, because if I don't, you're going to tell the old Bill, aren't you?
Look, there are much bigger sinners than you in the army, George. If I told the police everything that people had told me, there wouldn't be enough jails to hold them all.
You mean you're not going to turn me in?
If you decide to confess to the police, that's your business. I want you to confess to God.
And what if I don't?
I can still pray for you.
Oh, yeah. I've read me Bernard Shaw. You're after my immortal soul.
Oh, not me. That's his to look after.
Is it? Well, it's a pity he didn't start a bit earlier.
George, that's blasphemy.
Is it? Do you want to hear a little bit more? Do you know what religion is, mate? Religion is as big a con-trick as all the others, only nobody lets on. And if it wasn't for stupid little cows like you going round the boozers with your war cry, how long do you think the Salvation Army would last, eh?
Poor George.
What are you talking about? Look, don't worry about me, mate. I'm all right. No one's ever going to con me again. I'll tell you that.
There's no need to shout. Well, I must go now. If you want to see me again, you know where the Citadel is.
Yeah, I know where it is, and you know what you can do with it.
You won't always feel like that. Bye-bye, George.
Yes?
Mr. Wooderson in, please.
Gone out.
Oh, do you know when he's coming home?
No? What's going on, anyway?
How do you mean?
4 years he's lived here, never had a visitor. And then this morning he's had the Salvation Army round, and now you. You're a copper, ain't you?
Salvation Army?
Nice-looking bird. Didn't know he went in for women.
I see. Well, thank you.
Live and learn, don't you?
No George Wooderson has ever been enrolled in the Salvation Army in the London area.
So, maybe under another name.
Like what?
Well, I don't know.
Hello?
Kate?
Yes?
Is Nick there?
Yes, he is.
I've got something for him.
Going down.
Oh, the Phantom Dumper strikes again. Believe it or not, this lot, all of them were found in the same skip where the last lot came from.
Well, he's a right little wholesaler, isn't he?
Yeah, but apart from those, all the others are intact, unused. Think he's gone out of business?
Yes. You getting any prints?
Some beauties.
Yeah, they managed to scare him off. They put the heavies on him. Seems it worked.
Against the law, that, isn't it?
Excuse me, mate. Have you seen the Salvation Army girl in here tonight?
Oh, leave on, will you? Saturday night, we can do without that mob.
Oh, yeah, tough.
Right, come on, gentlemen, please. Time. Can I have your glasses? Come on, I've got home to go to. Thank you. Can I have your glasses, please?
Well, I mean, it's a nice way to spend Sunday morning and all that, but I do like my pint.
How long do they go on?
Well, I checked. The band stopped playing at 12, which is when the pub's open, all right, Phil?
Good thinking. Where's the next one?
Wapping. It's the last one as well.
So he better be there.
Well, he's not been back to his flat since Friday. He's got to be somewhere. His landlady did see this girl.
Nick, if you do find him, will he go to prison?
No chance. No previous form. Unless the magistrate's got shares in charity.
What if he has?
Can't get more than 6 months anyway.
Oh, that's all right then.
Well, why is it all right?
I'm a bit like him. I don't like charities, but I go along with the Sally Ann.
Doesn't sound much like Salvation Army material to me.
Hear that?
That's the same tune the last lot were playing.
Woodison?
Yeah?
I've been looking for you.
Yeah, I suppose you have. Can I just... Do you mind if I listen to the band for a minute?
Oh, why not?
Are you in trouble, George?
No. It's a friend of mine.
Is that your girl?
No. It's nothing like that. I'm ready now, Gov.
Excuse me. Are you a policeman?
Why do you ask, miss?
Is he, George? If anything happens, you will let us know, won't you?
Do you want me to?
We're not going to give you up.
We?
You know.
Yeah. It's all right, then.
Bye.
Suppose she wasn't your girl.
Don't be obtuse, Nick.
I'll tell you what, Nick. Take your daughter for a wet, eh? Don't worry, I'll bring her on.